Hello, everyone. And what if Kaufmo, being a clown, deliberately provoked his disappearance and intentionally turned into that monster? Sounds crazy, but you'll ask, where do I get these thoughts? I'll explain now. His room is filled with signs exit and no way out. For him, Kane seemed like a sinister overseer mocking him, and the clown sincerely wanted to escape from the digital circus. And as you remember, he even found that door, not just saw it, but went inside. His paintings confirm this, depicting dark spaces similar to those the girl wandered in the pilot episode. But as we already know, this is not an exit from reality, but just another place, created by Kin, based on the wishes of his wards. She's not finished yet, and glitchy, which just once again reminded Kaufman that there's no way out of the circus. Judging by Pomni's condition after what he saw, the clown was definitely in complete apathy after walking through familiar office spaces. And soon, against the backdrop of this breakdown, the clown resorted to desperate measures. In one of the paintings, you can see him standing opposite his scattered version with the inscription, "Why?" So Kaufman painted it before he turned into a monster. He consciously sat and painted the picture, knowing that it would happen soon, but for some reason, he didn't resist it, didn't try to prevent it. He just wondered, why? Why is this happening? Why do all those who go mad turn into this entity? And why does it bother Kane so much if he's just happy to mock them? Then we see Kaufman writing on one of the paintings, "What did the exit say the clown?" And again, and again. But the exit can't speak. Apparently, someone or something instilled thoughts in Kaufman's mind that drove him crazy. Something made him voluntarily succumb to dispersion. He knew that all the scattered were in the basement, a territory inaccessible to all players. Only the scattered get there, which is also depicted in his paintings. So maybe the exit is there? What if dispersion is the way out? Based on all this, the following emerges. Kaufman took a desperate step to get into the basement, the only territory he hasn't explored yet, where the real exit might be. Unfortunately, he is no longer destined to find out about it. Kaufmo has lost his mind, doesn't recognize his friends, doesn't understand their words, and attacks everything he sees. It's unlikely he'll seek a way out in such a state, even if he's somewhere in the basement. But who could have made Kaufmo lose himself? Everyone knows that someone who has lost themselves cannot control themselves, and even minor glitches cause pain. Even in a completely broken mind, the thought that losing sanity would help him get out could not arise. And I have a feeling that someone from the inhabitants pushed the clown towards this idea. But who could press the clown so hard? The drawings on the wall of his room suggest that Kaufmo was afraid of Kane. But Toothless is unlikely to want players to get lost, as it's an undesirable game glitch, and the clown wouldn't trust him with such an attitude. Jack is much more suspicious. For some unknown reason, he has keys to all the rooms, constantly lies, pushes, detaches parts of other people's bodies, puts friends in danger, sets them up, and mocks them. But most importantly, he was the last one to see Cow before he dispersed. Jack openly admits that he recently forgot his bowling ball in the clown's room. He was here when Kaufmo locked himself in and refused to talk to anyone, during the time when, according to others, nobody saw him. And, teasing others, he could jokingly suggest, "Maybe it's time for you to disperse to get out." However, despite all these clues, Jack is not guilty of Kaufma's dispersal. The creator of the cartoon just wants us to think so. If Rabbit had known about it, he would have gone to catch Gloinkoffs rather than accompany Horned and remember where they fled upon seeing the horror. Even for an alibi, he wouldn't have put himself in danger. The true villain in this story is not Jack, or even Kane, but the character who remained in the shadows throughout. He didn't attract the audience's attention, nor did he want to participate in the adventure or visit Kaufmo. That's Toothless. The final scene of the pilot episode parodies the Last Supper, depicting Jesus Christ's last meal with his disciples the day before his crucifixion. But it's not just a reference, it's a hint. At that moment, Jesus tells his disciples that one of them will betray him. In all pop culture parodies, the Messiah is always in the center, and the second person to the left of him turns out to be the traitor, like Judas Iscariot. However, an important detail is that while everyone else is talking, Judas silently leans his elbow on the table. In this case, the traitor is not the second person from the left, but the second person from the right, who, resting his elbow, silently watches Remember Slump. Thus, Gusfor subtly hints that the villain is not Kane, not the Corollaries, not even Jack, but the unremarkable Toothless. Despite the few lines, it was already possible to understand that she was quite rude, cynical, indifferent. Not the most pleasant person who could really exacerbate Kaufmo's condition. Seeing her friend's psychological problems, she only presses on the sore spot, disregarding how it will affect him. Moreover, Toothless Kaufmo's neighbor lives literally steps away from him, and no one would even know if she visited him at night. With her character, Toothless could cynically suggest that the clowns simply disperse, which he did. But if Toothless is indeed the traitor, then remember, in this case, represents Jesus Christ. Even in official concept art, Remember is depicted as crucified, like Jesus on the cross. She healed her own hand from glitches without Kane's help, like Jesus healing people. And on the creator's Tumblr, she talks about the digital circus being literally a cartoon purgatory. Therefore, the reference to the Last Supper is not accidental, but an important plot element in which Remember represents the Messiah who came into this world to save all people. But what is she saving, and how? People. What prompted them to come here consciously? Why is there still no way out of here? This clearly indicates that this amazing digital circus is a game that you can enter by putting on VR glasses. The site we saw when using the key from EkiWatch shows us restored files of the trailer of this game, which was created at least 20 years ago judging by the quality, format, computer model shown in the game, and intentionally hidden release date. In the trailer, we see Jax, Horned, Tooth, and even Remember, although she has recently arrived here. Probably, like in many old games, in this amazing digital circus, you cannot create characters. You are given a choice from a limited number of avatars: a jester, a doll, a rabbit, as hinted by the concept art from the Glitches Twitter. Crossed out avatars on the doors may either be already selected characters or not yet chosen ones. Perhaps they will appear in the series later. Perhaps there will even be another Kaufmo, now that there is no past. Developers chose such skins to emphasize nostalgia for toys of the 70s-80s, clicking teeth, ash blocks, chess, soap bubbles, and locations resembling children's playgrounds, so you can relive your childhood. However, likely due to numerous glitches, the game never saw the light of day. The trailer mentions experimental technologies, a special chip that provides stunning visuals and realistic sound, making you feel like you're really inside the game. Developers are unsure if this equipment will pass expert scrutiny. And as we know, the amazing digital circus literally locks players inside. Such a game could not have been approved, and most likely it exists in a single copy in this old abandoned office. Some speculate that Jax, Horned, Coroner, Tooth, Uglang, and even Remember are the developers of the digital circus. However, they are all around 20, 30 years old, just like the game itself, and they entered here with a difference of several years, so this is unlikely. If there were developers here, they have long since gone mad and are sitting in the basement. According to the official description, it is just an artificial intelligence that has never been human, as claimed by the creator of the animated series, Gus Works. Even when asked about its age, she responds that it has no age because it is AI and has never been alive. But then, why do ordinary people after decades enter a strange game from which there is no way out? Into a game that deprives you of memories and everything you had in real life? The answer to this question lies in the characters themselves. Psychosis, schizophrenia, dissociative identity disorder, narcissism, antisocial disorder, self-doubt, and depression. Each of the main characters suffers from a specific psychological disorder. According to Gosvorg's, Digital Circus is primarily a show about adults with adult problems, and the main goal of the animated series is to delve deeper into them. It seems to me that none of the main characters simply fit into the real world. They were despised or not taken seriously, hated or scorned. None of them could find their place anywhere. And being hikey freaks in the dark corners of the internet, they learned about a game capable of depriving them of past memories and giving them a new life in a magical world full of nostalgia and adventures. And hearing about it, each of them in turn found an abandoned office, put on those VR glasses, forgetting everything that was, and willingly found themselves in an amazing digital circus. However, even though the game erases memories, it does not deprive a person of identities and character. Although people may have forgotten past problems and offenses, their psychological problems have not disappeared. And remember, perhaps the former psychologist and her role as the savior of our Jesus Christ is not at all about finding a way out, but about helping her new friends overcome their troubles and redeem their sins. By sacrificing her own fears, she can lead everyone else out of the abyss. There is no easy solution to a problem with an instant snap of the finger, just like there are no doors or exits. It takes a long time of working on yourself. To beat depression, you have to go through the whole game. If you give up, depression will consume you, and under the weight of anxiety, you'll soon put a stop to your life. But to start living life to the fullest, you first have to deal with all your inner demons, including Corollary, Jax, and others. So share the video with your friends, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything, and don't forget to put likes so YouTube promotes the video better. And in my Telegram channel, you are waiting for additional interesting facts that are not included in this video. Be sure to subscribe there. There will be all the news about cheese and other interesting things. Thanks for watching. Bye, everyone.